Hello friends and welcome to Share Them Smiles. I'm Alyssa and I decided to take part in the Spookathon readathon this year, and it starts today as of me recording this. It's a week-long readathon that's about reading a thriller but also other spooky books, and just in October is just the perfect time to do all of that. There's 5 challenges, and I picked a book for every challenge, and so I'm going to go over them with you, and then afterwards we're going to see how I did. So the first challenge is always to read a thriller, because that's the reason that the people who created it actually started it, is they were all fans of thrillers and wanted to make a readathon with an excuse to read one. So for my thriller, I chose Final Girls by Riley Sager. It's about these girls who are unfortunately part of a group which is people who were the final girl. So they were part of some massacre, like in a horror movie, there's the final girl who's left behind. So it follows one of those people who is unfortunately now considered in that category. And I believe things start to happen to the other girls, and just sounded really interesting to me, and it's been on my TBR for a while, and I bought it a while ago, and it's been on my bookshelf, and so this is just the perfect excuse to finally get into this one. The next challenge is to read a book with a purple cover, and for that I've chosen Hocus Pocus and the all-new sequel. I love Hocus Pocus. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, let alone during this season. It's just so much fun, and it's just like the right mix of like spooky and goofy and all of that. And so it's quite a thick book, but it's 2 stories in it, and there's different, the font isn't too huge, and so I definitely think it's absolutely doable, and so that's why I chose this one. As soon as I found out it was a book and I saw it in a bookstore, I bought it right away, and I'm just really excited to jump into it. The third challenge is to read a book from a different time period, and for this I ended up going to the library to find something, and I decided on this book, which is Beowulf, which is, you know, one of those classic books stories that I think a lot of people cover in school. I know I read it in high school. I don't exactly remember too much of it, but I thought it was a perfect example, and it's not too long, and so with having to work every day during Spookathon, this seemed like something that was still doable and would cover the challenge, so that's why I'm reading this one. The fourth challenge is to pick a book with a spooky word in the title, and it's pretty lax about what that spooky word can be. It's just something that's spooky to you. And I actually have 2 books for this, which I'll explain in a second. The first one, which is the one that I plan on doing to fulfill that, is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This book I actually planned on having done by the time Spookathon happened. I'm a little over halfway done. It's quite a long one, and so I'm going to end up finishing this one during Spookathon, so this will count as that. Now, if by some miracle I do finish all 5 books for the Spookathon, I did also pick a book specifically for this, and that is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. This is a book that I've been seeing all over the place. It just came out this year, and it sounded super interesting, and I really wanted to read it, and it's middle grade, so I figured it would be a quicker read. So, but now that I have to finish Discovery Witches because it's due back to the library, I'm going to do that one first, and then if I have the time, I will be reading this one. And the last challenge in Spookathon is to read a book with pictures. It can be a graphic novel, it doesn't have to be, but I figured that would be the easiest way to, again, fit it into this week with work and all of that. And so I went back to my library, and I got Ghostopolis by Doug TenNapel. And it's about this guy who gets sent to the ghost world accidentally and discovers that he has powers, and it just sounded really interesting. I don't read a lot of graphic novels, so we'll see how this one goes, but it definitely fulfills that challenge. So that's my TBR for Spookathon this year. Let me know down below what you guys think, what you're reading. I'm definitely interested if you're taking part. If not, that's okay too. But hopefully you saw something that interested you, and hopefully I'm able to do better at this one than I've done at any readathons I've tried to do in the past. But this one is the one that I think I've been the most excited about so far, and so I have some high hopes for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, don't forget to share them smiles. Ciao for now, friends.